Today's story begins with a moment no one expected, a moment that brought back memories fans thought had faded, and a moment that reignited whispers that had been silent for years. After so much time working separately, after months of no interactions, and after countless rumors about distance and new projects, Chang Wook and Hyun have unexpectedly become the center of attention once again. And it all started because of an unscripted, unplanned moment that the world was never supposed to see. It was a normal filming day on a small drama set in Seoul. Nothing glamorous, nothing noisy, nothing like the large sets both actors were used to. Hyun was there for a short cameo appearance, something quick she agreed to do for a close friend. The atmosphere was quiet. The crew was relaxed. And everything seemed simple until the staff began whispering about a mysterious figure at the edge of the set. He wore a black hoodie, a cap pulled low, and a mask that covered half his face. At first, everyone assumed he was just another backstage crew member. Someone helping with lighting, or maybe even an assistant passing through. But when he finally lifted his head to glance toward the rehearsal area, that's when a few staff members froze. It was Chang Wook. He wasn't scheduled to be there. He wasn't working on any project in that building. There was absolutely no professional reason for him to be on that set. And yet, there he was, quiet, calm, and clearly trying not to be noticed. He wasn't walking around, greeting people, or making himself known. Instead, he sat behind one of the equipment tents, eyes fully focused on one person. Hyun. He didn't interact with anyone at first. He didn't approach her. He simply watched as she rehearsed her scene with her co-star. People who saw him said nothing. They didn't know what to think, but they could already sense something unusual was happening. His expression wasn't casual. It wasn't the friendly, playful look he usually had on other sets. It was softer, almost protective. And then the moment happened. The moment that changed everything. During rehearsal, Hyun struggled with an emotional line. The director wanted something different, but the emotion wasn't landing quite right. She tried again and again, letting out a small sigh as she reset between takes. She wasn't frustrated, just trying to find the right tone. What she didn't expect was for someone else to step in. Someone unscheduled. Someone not part of the production. Chang Wook stood up, walked toward her, and gently said, "No, try it this way." His voice was quiet, but familiar. The moment she heard it, she turned around instantly. Her expression softened, and for a split second, her whole demeanor changed. He adjusted her posture. He lifted her hand lightly, correcting the angle. He leaned in and gave her small, precise advice the way he used to during their drama days. It looked natural, effortless, like muscle memory. It wasn't part of the script. It wasn't planned. But it was real. And the entire moment was captured by a behind-the-scenes camera that was supposed to film daily rehearsal footage. When the staff uploaded the footage later as part of a small vlog, they had no idea what they had just revealed. Within minutes, fans clipped the moment. Within hours, the clip began spreading online. And by the next morning, the unscripted encounter had gone viral globally. People couldn't stop replaying it. They analyzed the angle of Chang Wook's hand on her wrist. They studied the way Hyun smiled when she realized it was him. They examined how close their faces were when he leaned in. Suddenly, fans were transported back to 2017, back to suspicious partner days, back to the era when their chemistry was undeniable. Old interviews resurfaced. Clips of Chang Wook calling her special circulated again. Fans posted edits showing how similar this new moment was to their old behind-the-scenes videos. The timing, the softness, the warmth, everything felt familiar. But the story didn't end with that viral clip. Later that night, after filming ended, a fan waiting outside the building saw something shocking. Hyun exited the set first, still in her casual clothes. Behind her, after a few minutes, Chang Wook stepped out as well. Still wearing the black hoodie, still trying to stay hidden, but definitely there. What the fan captured next sent social media into chaos. Chang Wook didn't walk toward his own car. He followed Hyun toward hers. They spoke quietly for a moment. She laughed at something he said. Her shoulders relaxed as he gently reached out and tucked a stray strand of hair behind her ear. He didn't hesitate. She didn't pull away. It was a natural movement, one that suggested deep familiarity. Then she opened her car door. And Chang Wook got in. The door closed. The car drove away. And fans were left staring with their mouths open. The comments exploded instantly. What did I just witness? He didn't even pretend to walk away. Why is he getting into her car? Something is definitely going on. Are they finally together? But that was only the beginning. The next morning, an entertainment insider made a short statement that threw gasoline onto the fire. When asked about their relationship, the insider said something vague but powerful. They've always been close. Some bonds don't fade. That was it. No denial. No distancing. No explanation. Fans lost their minds. Media outlets began publishing articles. Editors dug up old behind-the-scenes clips where the two looked unusually affectionate. People compared their 2017 interactions to now, insisting the chemistry had never changed, only matured. Then came another leaked clip. This one showed Chang Wook inside the building before they left. Nam Ji-hyun looked tired, leaning against the wall after her rehearsal. Without saying a word, Chang Wook approached, took off his jacket, and placed it around her shoulders. She protested lightly, but he shook his head and insisted. Again, the moment wasn't meant to be filmed. It wasn't part of any show. It was simply real human care captured accidentally by someone testing a camera. Fans captioned the moment, "He still protects her," and the video spread even faster than the first. But the final shock came from something small, almost too small to matter, yet powerful enough to dominate every headline. A staff member accidentally leaked a screenshot from the group chat for the drama team. And in that chat was one message from Chang Wook that read, "Take care of Hyun when I'm not there. Not Hyun SSI. Not Nam Ji-hyun. But Hyun. A nickname. A familiar, affectionate one. A name he had no reason to use unless they were close, very close. And that was all it took. The whispers didn't just return. They didn't remain whispers. They became something bigger, louder, stronger, impossible to ignore. By the end of the week, the entire internet was convinced something was happening between them. Some believed they quietly rekindled their bond. Others were sure they never stopped being close in the first place. And many believed this was the beginning of something new. But what did Chang Wook and Nam Ji-hyun do? They stayed silent. No statements. No denials. No explanations. Just the quietness of two people who knew the truth and didn't feel pressure to explain it to anyone. And maybe that silence was the real answer. Because the moments captured weren't scripted. They weren't staged. They weren't promotional. They were natural, unplanned, real. Two people sharing quiet moments in the middle of a busy world. Two people who still understood each other without words. Two people who walked out of a building together and chose the same car. Not because of drama. Not because of a schedule, but because they wanted to. And so the whispers begin again. Stronger, louder, warmer. Is it friendship? Is it something deeper? Is it a renewed connection? Only they know. The story did not stop with that single week of whispers. In fact, what happened next only intensified everything that fans had begun to suspect. The industry insiders who kept quiet before suddenly started hinting at unusual closeness, while staff members from past projects came out anonymously to share moments that suddenly made sense in hindsight. It was almost as if the world had been waiting for this moment, waiting for Chang Wook and Nam Ji-hyun to reappear in each other's orbit again, not as co-stars but as something that felt far more personal. A few days after the viral incident, an unexpected development unfolded. A paparazzi photographer stationed near a quiet neighborhood in Gangnam captured a moment that quickly became explosive. It was early morning, long before most celebrities would be out. The street was empty, the sun barely rising, and the shops still closed. But there, walking down the street side by side, were Chang Wook and Nam Ji-hyun. No staff, no managers, no disguise, just the two of them. Chang Wook carried a cup tray with 2 coffees in one hand. Nam Ji-hyun held a paper bag, clearly filled with breakfast. They weren't rushing. They weren't trying to hide. They walked casually, talking softly, smiling in a way that suggested they were simply enjoying each other's company. If anyone else had seen them, they would have looked like a longtime couple on a peaceful morning date. And that was exactly the impression the photos gave the world. Fans zoomed in on the tiny details. The matching shoes. The way her arm occasionally brushed against his. The way he tilted his head when she talked, listening with full attention. The exposure of their unguarded selves was more intimate than any stage magazine shoot could ever be. But the most viral moment wasn't the photo. It was what happened seconds later. As they reached the entrance of a small bookstore, Nam Ji-hyun shivered slightly from the early chill. Without hesitation, without thinking twice, Chang Wook reached out and pulled her closer by her shoulder. She laughed, reining in effortlessly, as if this was a natural routine between them. That single gesture, to many fans, was the real confession. The paparazzi posted the images, and within an hour, social media erupted. The pictures spread like wildfire across Korea, China, Japan, and international fan pages. People argued. People celebrated. People cried, analyzing every angle and every frame as if it were a historical discovery. Yet even then, the story didn't end. Later that week, Nam Ji-hyun was invited to a radio show. It was a light-hearted interview, the type where actors talk about recent projects and daily life. But the host, knowing the trending buzz, gently asked her about the viral clips with Chang Wook. The studio grew silent. Fans watching the live stream held their breath. Nam Ji-hyun didn't deny anything. Instead, her cheeks flushed, and she smiled, a small, meaningful smile that said more than any formal explanation ever could. She simply answered, "Some people are important. And some connections stay with you no matter how much time passes." The host tried to hide their surprise, but the damage, or rather, the spark, was already done. That line echoed across the internet, replayed thousands of times. Every fan interpreted her words as confirmation that something was indeed happening behind the scenes, something deeper than friendship. Meanwhile, Chang Wook had his own interview shortly afterward for an upcoming action film. Reporters didn't waste time. They asked him directly about Nam Ji-hyun. But instead of brushing it off or giving a cold, rehearsed answer, he paused. Then he smiled, soft, slow, genuine. "She has always been someone I care about," he said. "Someone whose presence has never left my life." The reporter tried to push further, asking whether this connection was romantic. Chang Wook didn't deny it. He simply responded, "Some things don't need labels right away. What matters is sincerity." Those two interviews, separate, subtle, honest, ignited an even bigger storm. Producers from past projects stepped forward with nostalgic posts, sharing old photos of them laughing behind the scenes. Former staff commented things like, "Some bonds really are special," without explaining further. And anonymous insiders added fuel with statements claiming that the two had remained in touch all these years, checking on each other regularly despite hectic schedules. Then came the moment that shifted the conversation entirely. A fan spotted Chang Wook's car parked outside Nam Ji-hyun's family home. It wasn't late at night or early morning. It was during a normal weekday afternoon. Her mother was seen leaving the house with a bag of home-cooked food, which she handed directly to Chang Wook through the open window. They exchanged a warm conversation, and she even patted his arm before walking away. To fans, this was the final puzzle piece. If he was close enough with her family to casually pick up food from her mother during the middle of the day, then this wasn't a fleeting reconnection. This was something established, something deep, something that had grown quietly over time, away from the public eye, away from the noise, away from speculations.